Hello and welcome to the Black VULKARS guide to Ravagers story mode. First boss, Sparky. Now unfortunately this was only partly recorded, the start of it was corrupted, so you've got 90% of the fight. So diving straight in, this is from a tank's perspective. I'm playing my tank called A Very Bad Man, thank you very much. It was a power tech tank. I was main tank for this operation during the start, and we end up swapping over a little bit during the fight. Okay, so first boss, Sparky. So this boss holds a few surprises. What she'll do is she will grab the tank and throw you around the room. So what you need to do is you need to keep your back against the walls. Doesn't matter where you get thrown, as long as your back is against the walls, you're fine. If you are a power tech tank, you can use hydraulic overrides to stop the knockback from happening at all, which is good to use. However, it's not too big of a deal, so it wasn't really worth worrying about. The other tank will need to group up all of the adds, and truth be told, every DPS should be on the boss until the adds reach up to 6+. The adds are more of a distraction. They take DPS away from the boss, and the enrage time is a little bit tight even on story mode, so you need the DPS on the boss. It will do an attack called Rampage, where it will start jumping around with a red AoE underneath it. The idea is to not clump up, because anyone caught in the AoE obviously will be caught in the clump, and it will also be caught in the damage. So do not stack up, try and keep spaced apart. If you're DPS, if you see the first Rampage, just try and run away a little bit, throw your sabres, do what you can from range. The tank that has got 6 adds now, 6+ adds, would bring all of the adds underneath the boss, and every DPS would AoE them underneath the boss to kill them. You know, you don't have to kill all of them, you just need to kill a couple of them. As long as you've got 4, it's completely manageable. 6+ starts to get a little bit hairy. When you have the final burn phase at 10%, all DPS stay on the boss, the other tank will just simply group up the adds away from you, so you won't have to worry about them. Whenever its shield goes up, its collar gets activated, DPS hard to lose the shield on it. There will be 2 points in this where it will collapse to the floor, and it will also have a injury sustained moment, which it will absorb double damage. That's when you want to focus really hard on it. I'll try and point that out as the video goes on. As you can see, getting chucked around a fair bit, and all you got to do is go to the nearest wall. That's all you got to do, nearest wall. It's a very, very, very easy fight on story mode. It's a lot trickier on hard mode. But that will be for another time. Now, at the end phase of this, during the burn phase, the adds will continuously start to calm down. There'll end up being about 9 to 10 of them in the end. And as I said, they are one big distraction, so you want to make sure the boss dies first, and then take out the adds. It's a nice big clump. As you can see now, they're all coming very thick and fast. And there's the boss down, so now both tanks with AoE taunt bring everything straight to the middle for AoEs. Please bear in mind you cannot stun them, you cannot do any movement impairing effects, so you just need to kill them. Can't stun them. And that's it, that's Sparky. Second boss is Quartermaster Bulo. Interesting boss this. The mechanics to this: tanks need to face him away from people at all times because he has a shotgun blast which does a frontal, a yellow conal attack. So you don't want that facing anyone else but the tanks. However, when he starts to engage the cast, what will happen is you're going to lose aggro immediately, so as soon as it drops, boom, you've got to get some taunts on him straight away to get it under control. Okay. Now, I'm on adds duty here. The tank's job here on story mode is you can elect one tank to be on boss and the other tank to do barrels. Okay. So I'm on barrels duty. He calls down drunken pirates. The barrels I'm picking up are barrels of booze. Now, because I've stolen their booze, they'd like their booze back. So they will, you use the barrel, because what happens is a tank could taunt them but they won't follow you. You need the barrel so they follow you into these blue rings, you see. You will also get these forklift loaders. The loaders treat the same as Eternity Vault's balls of lightning. Move away from group and walk into them to pop them, okay. You need all the pirates in to the blue to get rid of them. Please bear in mind this though, if you bring the barrel close to the boss, it also taunts the boss. So you ideally don't want to be too close to him when you do it. The way we do this on hard mode, and the only way you should do this on hard mode, is straight away healers, or mostly it's healers, will get a blue ring on them right at the start, and you just go and take it straight up the top and pop the pirate so you don't have to worry about the first barrel. Right here is what's called mass barrage. See, because I'm with part pugs here, public members, it didn't go according to plan because everyone, it's like throwing change on the floor and everyone scatters. The idea is this: if the boss has jumped to the right hand side and mass barrage comes down, there's 5 locations here. There's 2 doorways, right? Left and right hand sides. These are the easiest 2 to worry about. Right, the boss jumps to 5 locations, but the 2 doors left and right and up the top where the first wave come from will always be where the ads come from. So if the boss has jumped to the right, the ads will come in from the right hand door. So everyone as a group will go and take all of their mass barrage blues to this door that I'm at right now, right? And then you turn around and you all walk it backwards together. And the idea is this: don't keep walking, do not keep walking. Wait till the blue circle comes down, wait on the outside edge of it, the very outside edge of it, place the next one, place the next one, place the next one. By the time you reach the back wall, I guarantee you it will be over, and it will all be under control, and all of these guys would be dead. That you wouldn't have to worry about doing barrels, they would all be dead. Okay, it takes control. So if you're a non-guild member of Black VULKARS, if you're looking to run this with a guild and whatnot, and you want to try and progress through, have a bit of a hard mode tactic going for practice, use what I'm saying here because it works extremely efficiently, because this fight has to end quickly, because his shotgun blast will almost one-shot anyone it touches that isn't a tank. Okay, it's very damaging, and the barrels he throws out, right, they can do 30k damage when you throw at someone. So on hard mode you don't want that happening. That's why you've got to go down very, very quickly. I would actually recommend healers for this to be a Sork and a Merc. The Merc's great for keeping the tanks alive, so that they'll always be around to, you know, deal with the damage and the taunts. The Sorcerer is good for group healing. The DPS are going to come under a tremendous amount of firepower. Best thing I can say to you is just simply keep it organised. Alright, keep it organised. Right, you want to make sure that the MDPS are not standing stacked together. You want to try and occupy different spaces, and ranged DPS should not be directly in line with them. They should have their own space. So if the shotgun blast targets them, they don't accidentally take out somebody else. Okay, so forklift loaders, move away, pop them. Nothing to worry about there, it's all fine and dandy. Have one tank do the barrel duty with the pirates, take them into the blues, and that's it. That's the entire fight the whole way through. This is where people panic. You see right there, we got some in the blue there. See, that's what you need to do every time. The worst thing you can do here is panic. Keep it cool, keep it calm and relaxed. If you're doing this pug run with people, try and tell them what you've seen from this video, and just try to get them to understand that if you just calm down and just think through it, you will do it very efficiently. And now we're on to third boss, Torque, who is a Wookiee. Torque is kind of a filler boss on story mode. He's not much of a pain, but on story mode you want to get your tanking procedure correct. Okay, so you see from me here, take him to the back left corner, but bear in mind, do not go directly to the corner, because I've noticed something. There's a corner there, right, that's actually got a slight invisible wall to it, and I found sometimes healers can't heal you there, but also when you try and move, you end up hitting the wall and you're stuck in flames. Alright, so watch this here. You heard the sound in the background there, that shoots lasers. DPS, this is a small robot you need to kill, alright? So kill the small robot called shoots lasers. What Torque's going to do, right, on the tanks for example, he's going to put a debuff on you called Sick of You. Right, I've actually got it, but it was halfway through the cast and it's fine, so I just took the boss for now. Okay, but when you get Sick of You, you tank swap, so you just shout swap. You see the boss there has destroyed one of the consoles. Progressively, the boss will destroy consoles. At the back of this room, right, technically where I'm looking now, which would be the front of where I'm looking, what you're going to do is the healers that are up there will go and get a repair droid. Now please bear in mind, if that shoots lasers droid is still up, it will kill the repair droid, because the repair droid is actually a red target. You can accidentally kill it, which isn't good. Alright? You'll get these flames come down. This little flame droid, don't worry about it. Honestly, don't worry about it unless it's right next to a console. Where it is right now is fine. Okay? You just don't want to go near it. Right. There shoots lasers. That's what one of those drawers look like. When the flames come down, tank over to the other side. You start left, go right, left, then go right, right, then go left, all that sort of jazz. Alright? Luckily, on story mode, this is all the mechanics. Everything you've just seen from the start of this video is everything he will do. He will hold no surprises now. On hard mode, it's a lot harder fight. A lot harder fight. It's a massive DPS check with a 5-minute and 40-second enrage timer, and a lot more to worry about. Okay, so you see the flames? That's it, then just move across. Remember, as a tank, you are in control of this fight. The flames do not last long, it's only about 5 seconds they actually last for, but they do tick for a tremendous amount of damage. Okay, so control the fight, get him to where you need to go, and simply make sure that everyone's got a space to stand. There's flames, so you bring him over to the right hand side. Oh, there is the knockback as well, but it's not very prominent on story mode. You can normally you would tank swap on the knockback as well, to be fair, because that's actually when you're going to get sick of you. You can see my debuff tray there nice and large at my sort of waistline. So I had the dark figure with a grey background. That's sick of you. As long as your DPS is high enough, this fight will be very, very short. And there you go, that's the end of him. And that is Talk. Now the one that most people have trouble with, Blaster and Master. Now, there are 3 different ways you can do this, alright? Especially on story mode. Number 1 method, okay? You can elect one tank to be on the boss. Please bear in mind this is during the 4.1.B patch, so BioWare broke everything, so the boss doesn't turn, and the conal frontal knockback is not actually from the front, it's just visual, but it's so annoying. Anyway, so you can elect one tank to do Blaster, which is the big guy, and the little guy who's Master, you can have the other tank do him. However, what I would say about this is that will only work if the tank can time his cooldowns perfectly, because Master will start casting a cast on you called, it's a laser beam he puts on you. I can't remember the exact name of the word, but it's the laser. Right, everyone knows it's the laser anyway. It will put 20 stacks in total on you, alright? This can have most of its damage negated by a cooldown, so Saber Reflect, Shroud from an Assassin, all that sort of jazz, alright? PT, not as good for it, because we've only got the Absorption Shield by 25%, it'll raise the Absorption, it's not terribly great, but it will get you through it. But it does put a tremendous strain on healers, okay? So that's the number 1 method, that's the hardest part of this, okay? I'm just going to go through all 3 ways of doing it. Number 2, tank swap. What you can do is have one tank on it. When you reach 8 stacks, you shout swap, and both of you swap targets. This will end up being an equal amount of stacks, and you'll be absolutely fine. The damage is absolutely fine at that point. However, because of the fact you're tank swapping, it may not be convenient because you might accidentally turn the boss into the raid and knock them back. So it's not ideal in every way of doing it, but it is an option. Number 3 is the easier way, and this is what most people would like to do. Because the laser beam is actually, you can interrupt the beam. And I don't mean with interrupts, I mean one person simply walks in front of the beam and takes a few stacks off the tank and then moves out of the beam, and then the tank absorbs the rest of it. This works very well and anyone can do it. So that's a very good way of doing it as well. So either one of those 3 ways will work. Now going on to mechanics, you can see here he's got these barrages, which are the big yellow/orange AoEs. What you want to do is do not go in them, it will continuously tick down damage. As the tank, you need to position yourself in such a way that you're going to get knocked between them, alright, so you're not going to get knocked into it. Best way of doing this is turn your camera around, plan your route, so you're not going to get knocked into them. You've got blue rings on you now, these are bombs, you've still got a debuff right now, it's ticking down slowly, about to go boom, see? Remember this, right, if you're overlapping rings, that's alright. But if you're overlapping rings and overlapping the person next to you, you are both going to take the damage. The best thing you can do is, as your tick is about to drop off you, right, move away. Don't overlap circles at all to be on the safe side, okay? So that's what you need to do. You've got a few seconds to think about it, but not the most time, alright? Okay, now the boss, right, during the fight, on the second phase right now, will start doing his airstrikes, right? They're going to hit the stern of the ship right now, okay, as you can see there. Now, when it's red, right, you don't want to be in it, okay, but afterwards the barrage comes down, so you don't want to immediately walk either. You want to let the barrage come down and then move across. See, just like I'm doing now. Please bear in mind, if you are the main tank, you do need to keep hold of the aggro, so you will need to taunt, you will need to look after where the boss is looking. Normally the sort of 45-degree position works out very well. Now each time the master comes down, the tank needs to pick him up immediately and then kite him around. The idea here, guys, right, is always attack the one that hasn't got the shield on, right? So right now, Blaster. Everyone should be hitting Blaster, the big guy. The little droid should be kited off, but you see right now he's doing his electric cast. We're on the last sort of phase here. The electric cast casts a debuff called Magnetised, right? If this was hard mode, this would be what would keep you on the deck so that Blaster doesn't knock you all off. But don't worry about it, it's not a thing in story mode. So don't freak out. What you would do is you'd bring him to the side of the boss. The tank's got it in a bit of the wrong position right now. You want it just to the side, see, just right of my position. So that everyone gets the buff, the debuff and whatnot, but it's not a big deal. But keep it there. That attack does not do much damage. He won't do his spinny fireball attack now. That's the one you need to watch out for though, when he does this spinny fireball thing. Alright, just watch out for that. So everybody at this point should be on Blaster. Alright, take out the big guy, and then once he puts his shield on at 10% and he's crippled, destroy Master, ASAP, and then boom, all done. Alright, you can do it vice versa. You can also do Master first, then Blaster. However, I do find it's better to do Blaster first and then Master afterwards, to be honest with you. Because once Master starts doing his electrical cast, it's nowhere near as bad. It's nowhere near as bad damage, to be honest with you, and it's just worth doing Blaster because the shield is off. But like I said, either way will work. Once the boss reaches his 10%, he'll go into shutdown, put a shield on himself, and a big red AoE will spawn. What happens is when the big red AoE comes up, you would just simply run out of it. You'll get knocked back anyway, you might get knocked back into the wall, possibly die from that, but it's not a problem, the boss will be dead. This is kind of like the soft enrage right now, where you're losing space because of the mortar volleys that are coming down. If this was full-blown enrage, there will be one orange one right dead centre, and that'll be the end of us. But we did it. So there you go, that's the end of Blaster and Master. Also, as you can see, the wall's electrified, so you don't want to be right up against it. And there we go, as I think one person was. And that is the fight. So you have 3 options with that one, so it's all worth doing, and it is honestly quite easy. People just make it a little bit harder than it has to be. Cortani, Pearl plus Rugar, which is actually the very end boss. It's all counted as the same boss, but still. So, word of warning, in 4.1b patch, there is a bug where if you have any pets out or any droids out from repairs or male droids, this boss will reset and you'll have to do it all over again until that pet goes away or combat droid goes away. So, this fight, one tank takes Pearl, the bird, and one tank takes Cora, the woman. Alright, now what you do is this. You get the bird down to 20%. You can do a little bit less, but 20 is where you want it to be. Get it down to 20%. At that point, all DPS shift to Cora. You kill Cora ASAP. Alright? She disappears at about 18%. You don't see her again after that. But the problem is, once she goes away, the bird's enraged. Alright? So you've got that. You've got it down so small a health now that you will easily be able to kill it. So it's fine. If you're the tank on Pearl, what will happen is she will go off every now and then in a pecking, a green tonal frontal attack she does, and it's untauntable for about 5 seconds, 5-6 seconds, something like that. So during that time, see right now it's done it. It's untauntable, so just be ready. Just be ready. As you can see there, my single taunt can't be used. You'll see it flash up in a sec. Boom, there you go, now I can get control again. Alright. Cora, just make sure you've got her facing you. She does do a few conals, so just make sure she's looking at you. All DPS just burn her down. When you get the fire debuff, you will have one person elected, so I would suggest either a ranged DPS or a healer. Right? Normally a ranged DPS is a bit better though, especially a sniper. Sniper's ideal for this. Is get them on the consoles, right? I'll try and see if I can get a shot of the consoles. See on the right hand side there's a little blue terminal? Just there, just saw a small flash of it. You can see one there, that's it, top right corner. Those are the consoles, right? When you get the flame debuff, you turn them on to turn the fire extinguishers on. And it will it'll give you the carbonised effect. So you'll get carbonised, it'll get rid of the debuff to cleanse you. It can't be cleansed any other way, so just keep that up throughout the fight. Best thing to do is just say burn, 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 that sort of stuff. Or fire, fire, that's what we normally do. And just focus them down. When Pearl is at 20%, the tank that's on it, don't put any DPS on it. Just put taunts on it. Okay? Just taunt it, make sure it's with you, and if you can, try and throw some firepower at Cora. Alright? Try not to overlap positions as well. If you can, take it away from where she jumps.
It's like the ravagers always say. Why leave them alive when you can kill them? Ha! Why can't we cut you people in anyway?
Burning again, so someone will turn the consoles on. Everyone gets the debuff so everyone can see it. So the guy who's on the consoles, he knows when to do it. Now sometimes the consoles will explode from one of Cora's abilities, so you want to try and avoid the green that goes on the floor. However, if you do this correctly, you won't get many of them at all. That's the bird's green conal, and as you can see I've lost control, but I'll get that back once she becomes tauntable again. There we go. Maybe the yes, this is the enraged moment. So Cora's gone now, so Pearl's up. You can't really gain much control over her, right? I'll give a sec. Cora's just about to go down now. Watch the greens. Okay, she's gone. So then Pearl. Now she'll enrage now, or about at the same time. Yeah, here she goes. When she enrages, you can't do anything to her. You can't taunt her or anything. There we go, just on the cusp of it. And then you go and click on the escape pod, and you go into the next room. There's 4 or 5 ads in here, just literally just standing there, no big deal. On the left-hand side. I'm just saying to the guys here about swapping stacks. Tank-wise, what you do is when Rugar comes down, okay, what you would do is you will tank swap at 3 stacks of corrosive dart. Okay, you'll see the debuff on my screen coming up around my waist area. So, 3 stacks of it, swap. He will drop mines continuously through this, so you want to try and keep him in at the edges of the area. We use the ramp, for example. You use the edges of the ramp, all the way around the top, all the way around the edge, all that sort of jazz, so that the DPS and healers have the most amount of room that they can move around in. Because there are going to be some little mouse droids, right, similar to Karaga's Palace. They're going to come in from the side and blow up on people. So if you see this little black droid going across the floor, right, you don't want to stand near somebody. Okay, try and move away from the group. Same thing like Bulo. Also, he will take people hostage. Okay, when you see any red flash up on the screen, right, it will be the name of the person, so they take an ex-player hostage. But to keep it simple, whenever you see red announcement on your screen, stop what you're doing. Stop everything. Because if you don't stop, all the damage the boss receives will kill the person he's taken hostage. See right there? The healer was taken hostage, and of course they killed him. No one stopped. But that's okay. That's okay, right? They had a combat rev, no problem. But you must be aware of it. Okay? Looks like he died again, fair enough. But yeah, so keep the mines at the edges. 3 stacks of corrosive darts. See, I've got 3 stacks of he taunted off me. And then once he's on 3 stacks, I'll taunt off him. Usual sort of tank swap routine.
Nice try.
Same thing on hard mode. This boss will also disappear before he reaches 0. Normally it's about the sort of 9%, somewhere around that region. He'll go and jump to his console, start clicking, he says, alright, you've got me, and then you'll hear a beeping alarm siren going off. Yet again, escape pod in the back right corner of the room, you just click it. A little bit of a troll from BioWare is you think you're not going to do it in time, but you actually will, so don't worry about it. As you can see, plenty of lines. Hostage, so now everyone just stops what they're doing, and they did learn that time, so that was good. The other healer nearly died, but they did stop in time. Luckily there was an assassin there then that stealth revved in.
Nice try.
Won't be long now. So you just rinse, repeat the procedures all the way through. See, now we've got him, so now we're going to go and click on the escape pod, end up on a little island and get our loot. If it's the first time you've done it and you've clicked up the quest outside the room, outside of Rishi, on the entrance to this, there's a mount you can get as well, the jungle sling. Now guys, thank you for viewing this. If you're not part of the guild, please remember this, we are a very strong raiding community. We have 20 plus, 30 plus online each night. We raid SM twice a night and have 2 HM progression teams currently active. And we are recruiting. So we're on the Red Eclipse on the EU. I've provided link details in the description. There is also a small glimpse here of our details. If you ever want to progress any further in SWOTOR, please let us know. We're more than happy to take you on, and a very mature aspect to the game. It is a game, we must have some fun, you know. So thank you very much for watching, and take care.